Hi, good morning. Joe here at Willie Cottage. I think it's Wednesday. So, yeah, it is Wednesday. I don't know why I said I think. Promise you that I will do my videos around about a Wednesday from now on, once a week, just to take the pressure off myself. So this is this week's video. Hopefully I can get uploaded today on the same day that I film it. If not, it'll be tomorrow, but that's down to my upload speeds because I'm finding it hard. I think it took me 24 hours to get last week's Romney Marsh video uploaded. So even if I have to go and leave my phone outside so it gets my data instead of my Wi-Fi, fingers crossed I can get it sorted out today. So excuse the mess. I'm in the middle of blending up some bats. And I've got some orders that I need to get processed up as well. But I wanted to do something really bright and vibrant with some clashing colours, with lots of fluffy nets in there, and make it really shiny, lots of bling in the bat, little bit of neps in there, and just to make it like a tweedy, sparkly art bat that you can create a woolen spin with. Just something really fun and bold. So I'm going with three main colours. So hold on a second, bits of so I've got this fuchsia pink. This is actually a broken ultraviolet, but these I've just literally just ready through my scrap board. So I've got a board up there, a pegboard, and the wheels that I don't use all the time are only used for little bits and pieces. So these were just leftover bits. So I thought, well, I'll just throw together some of these. So these are all Shetland wool, dyed in exciting neon tones. Then I've got this, which is actually South American top that's dyed in purple. And then I have, again, some more, I think, yeah, this is definitely a South American top in a turquoise. And then I've looked through my colour stashes here, which is why I buy them. I just buy in ready-made blended and dyed wools. We've all got them in our little stash boxes, not quite sure what to do with them. Some people just like to spin them on the off, which is cool, that's fine. But if you want to make some sort of scrap yarn bat, you'll be surprised how pretty it can come up. Even if you've only got little bits of something, just get your scales out, your basket out, weigh up the amount that you want to create. Generally I've got a classic carder, and it's a 72 DPI, and I can get, depending on the fibre, I can get anywhere between 90 to just over 100 grams of fibre on each of my blended bats on my drum carder. It depends, as I say, it all depends on the fibre that you're using. If I'm using merino or Perrindale or Teeswater or Wensleydale, Finnish, Gotland, maybe Falkland merino, and there's a couple of others as well that sticks to mind that are roughly around about 30 micron count, or a really straight staple length, not much crimp in it. I can easily get 100 grams or just over. I've seen me bring off 110 grams, especially using merino, off my drum carder. If I'm using something like Cheviot, Shetland, Fly Maroon, Dorset Horn, Welsh Mountain, Manx Lohan, Shetland Morit, those sort of bigger, bouncier, more crimpy wools, I can get just about 100 grams or a little bit less, but they've got more volume in them, so you're definitely pushing your luck if you're trying to get over 100 grams on there. But just split your amounts into two bats and then just see how you can go with it. So anyway, so I've got this one here. This is a gorgeous aqua blue, sorry, and that is merino. And then I'm using this, which is a new blend from World of Wool. I absolutely love it. I think I've made out of 100 grams about 3 different bats from using this. So I'm using this, and because it's got the pink in there, it's got the turquoise or the blue, then it's got hints of yellow in there. So I wanted to create more depth of colour. So now I've ended up with 5 colours in there instead of just 3. So that is my main layering in between. So I'm literally, I don't always have a plan. I like colours, and I'll go and pop around and have a look, see what I'm in the mood for. And I just feel like I want to be vibrant today. So with those, I have also looked through. Now I have these sweetie tins. Phil buys me a box of these every Christmas. jelly beans. So I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got about 6 of these, and I use them. So you know when you've got your dye pots going and you wanted to buy dye up some trilobal or merino, but you didn't use it all, just stash it away in a little box. So I mean, this is my little box of treats. So they're all colour coded, so they all sort of have a theme, and I go for a little rootle around, and then when I go back to my dye pots and I do a big batch dye of all my tweedy nets and all my fluffy nets and all my slubs, and my trilobal and pearl fibres and all that sort of stuff, my rose fibres, I will literally just dye. I spend a day just dyeing all those little bits and pieces, loads of different colourways, and then I'll stick them in my pots, and then I've got them for whenever I want to add stuff to. So like there's trilobal in there, or Firestar, depending on where you come from, different shades of it. Then I've got little bits of leftover wills in there as well. I've got that is rose fibre. It just needs to be softened up in my hands. And then I've got bits of fluffs in there, so there's some woolly net bits in there as well. So yeah, that's what I use, and that's what I do. So I haven't always, this is why all my blends are always unique, because I'm using my bits and bobs that I've got lying around, stored away in my cupboard, and then I'll raid those. So I found in my pink stash box some neon, really soft fluffy neps. You will not, these ones won't bounce around. If I say that they're fluffy neps, fluffy wool neps, they're definitely fluffy wool neps, okay? If I say that they're just wool neps, then they will look like these ones, which will stick in your wool, but it ends up like popping candy when you're spinning it up. You'll probably end up losing about 25% of what was already in the carded bat, as we all know, and they're a nightmare. It's like having tinsel in the house at Christmas and you still find it in the summer holidays. So yeah, so if I ever say in my descriptions on my bats, if it's fluffy neps, it's definitely fluffy neps. If it's just wool neps that are in there, then it's those thicker ones, those popping candy ones. Maybe I should just describe it as popping candy woolly neps. So yeah, so I'm using those to give it like a tweedy feel. And then I have got pink, I've got the violet trilobal, and then I've got this aquamarine trilobal, and I've got this pink one. And then from that I have got merino with stellina, just to give it a bit more hint and darken down that turquoise, so that really complements that. Now I couldn't find any purple, so I've gone for the yellow merino glitz, so that one will go layering on top of the purple. And then I've got this pink one. What else have I got to go in there? So I've also got my leftover, not much, I've got a little bit of white Angelina left. This is the crystal, I think it's the crystal one. Yeah, Crystallina. And I have got some gorgeous fuchsia Angelina in there. And then to give it a little bit more, if I can get any more on bat, I have got some Tussar Silk Noil and some Mulberry Silk Noil dyed up in different colours. So again, complementing what's already in there. It's just finding colours to contrast, or deeper shades of the base colours that you're looking for, to create something. So I was going to put this rose fibre, no, this is nettle fibre in it, but I think I'm going to go against that. I think I'll just stick with these, the shiny, the sparkle, and the neps in the duller tones, just to create a different depth in the different layers. So I'll stick that back over there. So the next process for me, I'll just pop you down so you can sort of see me and watch me at the same time, is to divide them up, because I always do two different bats, or 2 bats for one set. And I've weighed these up, and they're roughly about 210, 215 grams, all of that together in my little basket on my scales. So the next process is to divide them up. So I've got 2 lots for 2 bats. So I literally just split in half and create 2 piles. So this is just one of those processes that takes you 5-10 minutes to get going. Now I've got 4 of these already split up, so I can just take 2, put that on that pile, take 2 and put that on that pile. And then I've got 4 of these as well, so I want to just make sure that they're roughly about equal lengths and weights. So take them and put them there. And then the same with the turquoise. So I've got 2 of the blues, put them aside, and the hand dyed versions, 1 of each on there. On the pinks, 2 again, split those 2. And then I've got these ones here that never quite turned out right. You'd be surprised. I might do a video next week of a dye pot where the colours aren't quite how you wanted them, but when you blend them up, they just create a different character than what you expected. So dye mistakes, I think I might do that and then put it into a blended bat. So I will split, and then split again. And then as for these, I literally put my toppings to one side and then have to remind myself to use them as I go along. There have been times when I've created a bat set and I've come to the end and I'm like, how come I've got so much of this left? And then it dawns on me that I only used it once when I should have used it twice. I've got Fibre, you have to let me off. Fibre brain, once that kicks in, I'm not good for anything. Right, so they're all done. So now I'm going to think about how I want to put them all together. So I'm going to split them again. And do that again. So I end up with smaller sections. Because I want it a slightly gradient pattern. Ow. But I don't want, I don't want them like uniformed. I want them a little bit, how am I thinking? I want them to sort of just pop all over the place. So I'm just going to split that. So I'm going to put all my hand dyed ones are here in a little line of their own. And then I'm going to put all the ones that are ready dyed to one side. I'm just going to divide that in half and divide that in half again. And then I've got these purples there. So you end up with like a colour gradient through. So I'll probably move those pinks to that side with that wishy-washy purpley pink one, then the purple, and then I'll put the blue at the end. What do you think? Or shall I go pink? No, because if you're looking at a colour rainbow, that's how it would go. So your warm colours through into your cold colours. So the next thing to do is split my multicoloured ones. And then split up my sparkly ones. So I'm just plunking them to one side. These are all the ready dyed and blended, so they've got their own space, and it just means as I'm going through and blending it all together, everything's all in its row and I can just keep going. So can you see that? There we go. So I'll repeat that again when I get onto the second bat, but that's the process I go from here. So I'm just going to get myself sorted out and I start blending, and I'll put you back on in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to start with the pink, and I'm just going to wish it out a little bit. Carve that on. And then the wishy-washy one, I'm just going to layer over the top. You can't really see what I'm doing, can you? There we go. So I've just slightly laid that over the top of the pink. And then I'm going to do the same with the purple. Okay. And then go in with this aquamarine blue. Get the fight there. And then do the exact same again. So go back in with the pink. I'm just creating a thicker base layer for this, and then go in with this one here. Sometimes on most occasions when I'm doing this, I just have one layer, but with this one I just want a thicker base layer of these colours going along. But these are going to change up a little bit as I go in with my effect colours. So I'm just going to do that again with the aquamarine and give it a little bit of a card in. Okay, so next I want to go in with my colours. Now you would expect me to go in with this colour on top of this, but I'm not. I'm going to do it from this side. So I'm just going to split that in half, and what I'm going to do is just roll it across onto this light purple, and then roll it back onto the pink, and then roll it back over to the lighter purple until it's all gone. Next one, I'm going to do the yellow, okay, and I'm going to go from this aquamarine on this top of this purple and pink over the purple and then onto the aquamarine, and just keep going until I've got none left in my hand. And then I will take the pink and I'm going to go over the aquamarine next, back onto the purple. But I want the colours to cross over each other. So when you're spinning it up, you're getting hints of blending of tones in on each other. Okay, so you can see the effects there. So I will do a layer of the multicoloured fibres. I'm just going straight on with them. There we go. Now I'm going to start adding in some of my texture. So here's the pinky one. I'm going to go in all the way across, and then I'm going to grab some of the blue. I'm just going to split it because I want to put another layer of these on. So this is the mulberry silk and tussar silk moils that have been hand dyed, and then some of the purple, and again just all the way across. And then I've got a little bit of fuchsia, this one here, there we go, and then some of these really fluffy woolly neps which will cling on, and they will cling on when you're spinning the wool as well. There we go. And next I want to add in, I'm going to add in the Angelina in the fuchsia first, because I've got a lot of this. I don't have much of the white one, so I want to save that to the end and use it as my topping. And I'm going to get my carder again. Then I'm going to get another layer of my multicolour, and I'm going to place this over the top. Okay, so next I want to use some of this Fire Star. So I'm just going to split this in half, put a bit that one side, go on, down you go, and split the purple one in half, and then some of the pink one in half. And with these I am going to go in the same colour order. So I'm going to lay down the pink there at the beginning, the purple one in the middle, and then the aqua on top of where the aqua was. And then I'm going to get some of this turquoise here, this blue, this vivid blue, and layer that on top. And do the same again with my colour order. So I want to layer on a set. No, I don't. I want to do this merino glitz, but I'm going to do this in the order of the colours. So again, I'm just going to layer this down on the bottom of my pad. So on this section where my aqua is, I've done the yellow, and then in the middle, no, sorry, at the end, I'm doing the pink. Hold on, wrong way. So I want the yellow in the middle on top of the purple, the pink on top of the pink, and then the aqua on top of the aqua. And that's what I'm doing that section. Okay. So So there we go. So that's that started. So I'm now going to repeat the exact same thing again. This time I'm just going to do one layer of each between like so. It's at the beginning I did 2 layers and then put the multicolour on top. This time I'm just going to do the one single layer multicolour on top, do my glittery bits on top of that, and then do my second layer, and then repeat the process, and then I'm going to be adding in my textured layerings on top with the last of the glittery effects. So there's the pink, there's my off pink, there's my purple. Oh, it's feeling a little bit, I don't want to go in. There we go. And then the aqua at the other side. Give that a quick carding so it packs down. Then I'm going to split my colours, so along with the turquoise over the top of the pink or the aquamarine, and come back on itself because that's all gone. And then the next one I want to do the yellow, so the yellow in the centre all the way across on both colour sets, and then the pink on top of the aqua and going back onto the purple. Just grip the end and then your fibre will come out quite easily. You don't want to give it any pressure, you don't want to hold on to it like you're practically flying. There we go. So I'm going to now put my multicoloured layer on top. That just looks so pretty, and this is the colour that's going to be on the very end, on the very last layer. So I'm going to get my glitzes, these ones, the Trilobon 5-star, and I'm going to put them again in the exact same order as I did them the first time round. So the purple in the middle, and then the aquamarine on the next stage. There we go. So last layer of multicolours. And then layer with this dusky pink, neon broken ultra electric violet. I'm just going to pack that down so my card is now starting to get a bit full, so it's not picking up the fibres as quickly as it was, but we're nearly done. So the next one is the purple. And then lastly on this layer is my aqua. And the last section of this merino blue on top of those. And then I'm going to use my glitzies up. I'm going to put this layer on now. I'm going to put my woolly neps in, and I'm literally just going to put them on the tray and let them just roll in on their own. Obviously they want to stick to the liquor, so just add your card and tease them off. There we go. And then next I'm going to use a little bit of this white crystal Angelina and a little bit of the pink, and I'm just going to stick them to one side for a minute because I just want to do these last bits of the Tussah silk, merino silk neps. So I'm just going to tease them apart and literally put them on the bottom and roll them through. Quite happy with that staying there, because I will catch that once I've done this last piece. So now I'm going to put in my Angelina. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a mix because there's 2 different colours in there and I don't want them to I want them to be evenly distributed. So I'm just going to get my carder again. Right, then last but not least, I'm going to go in with these, but I'm going to put them in the order that they were. So the merinos with blips inside them. So I'm going up the aqua on the aqua, the yellow on top of the purple. Okay, and then last but not least, the pink. Okay, so I'm just going to pull you back a bit because I need to get in here to card up these last bits that are on the liquor. There we go. So that's as much as I'm going to get on there. So I'm just going to pull this around, and you can feel that it's quite tight. So just bring back to about an inch on your drum carder, tilt it and lift it up, and it'll just make it easier to get started because the fibres are on there quite packed in their place, and it just makes your job a little bit easier to get off. And again, just wibble it up. You can feel the tightness in there. Wibble it, give it another wibble and another wibble, and there we go, a bit tighter on that section. That's because of the fibre that I've used on that area. There we go. Right, I've ended up with a really long piece on that bit. It didn't want to come out at all, so just grab that troll by the hair, twist it over, use your handle just to give you a bit of leverage, and it helps you with a bit more control, and you should end up with a clean drum by doing that. And I'll just unpick some of the bits that's still stuck on the needles, on the tines, and just roll that so I can pick up all the remnants that have just come off the liquor onto the carder. And there we go. So we'll have a little unravel. So I'm just looking to see where my weakest part is, but because I've got that extra long length, there we go. So I'm just gonna, where the sections where I pulled them, you've got like inch gaps. So usually I just fluff them out a little bit, just give them a bit of a tease so the fibres look as though they're all neat and tidy. Turn that around. I'm gonna flip it over. So you ended up with underneath purple with your turquoise, aquamarine, and then your bright pink underneath. So you know exactly how it looks underneath, but it's how it's going to dye up all the way, how it's going to blend up all the way out. So just give it a bit of a tease. Right, there we go. You can't see the sparkles. How mad's that? There we go. So I'm just going to roll that up and I'll get on with the next one, but I'll do that fast speed and try and put you in a different angle so you can see what I'm doing. So there we go. So I think I'll have to come up with a name. I usually come up with my names while I'm blending them. So I'll think of something, and these will be available on my website this afternoon if you want one. I'm only doing one of them. I've got a couple of others that I need to do, but I might be saving them for the weekend's listings. So I'm going to stick you on fast forward now and watch me zoom through the next one. See if I can remember how I did it the first time round. So there you go. Trying to capture the sparkles, but you've seen me, I've put loads of sparkles in that, but it's so pretty. Yeah, you can just make out the gold and the close-ups. There we go. So that's how I make a gradient bat look like an ombre. So it's all subtly blended through. You cross your colours over to dull down the solid tones. You don't want it to have a uniform look. That's ideally what you're looking for. You're looking for something that you get pops of colour in your main colours and opposite colours or opposite tones on the colour chart to what you would normally put together. So yeah, I love doing things like this, and it's just one of those inspirational bats, those moments where I'm like, oh, what shall I do today? And I had a little route all around and I was like, I know what I'll do. So yeah, that'll be going on the website in a little while. There is approximately, let me just put it on the scale. There is I on a move, love. There's approximately, just turn my scales on. Oh, excuse the moving moment. Sorry if you're seasick. Right, what we at? 0. So I'll just land that on the top, and that's sitting at 193 or thereabouts. I think I actually weighed out more than that, but it's saying 193. I reckon it's just over 200. But it's just the way that I've balanced the top. Usually I squish them and put them inside, but I'll have another look, and I will probably rootle out some Wednesday neon locks to go with that as well, just to complement it. But yeah, so that concludes my video for today. There we go. I need to think of a name for it. I haven't got a name. I might just call it No Name. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So have a look on the website. It'll be on there later on, and it will be called No Name. And so I'll be adding some nice pretty locks to complement them. I'll look out some tweed locks, some aquamarine and turquoise and purple ones, hints of yellows and the pink ones, and put them in there just to complement it a little bit. And if you want to spin it into an art yarn, it will look amazing. You'll have these little pops of textures all the way through. Otherwise, you will get a tweedy wool from this, and it'd be perfect for knitting those hats and gloves. Or if you're doing a tweedy style jumper, as I always say, 200 grams should be more than enough for you to spin a really decent amount of wool for you to create for pattern work. So thanks for joining me today. I will see you sometime next week, around about this time. If you'd like to come over and see me over on Instagram, I do live chats on a Saturday. And if you subscribe to my website, I've created a 10% off for subscribers only discount code that will be emailed to you once you subscribe, and you'll get a monthly updated letter as well round about the 25th of each month, with whatever I've got planned, maybe batik clubs, what theme I'm doing. This theme for October month is merino, so that's already in the works. My beads are being made and they'll be out as usual, and the closing date for ordering any type of batik clubs is around about the 20th of each month, because I get them blended up and posted out hopefully by the 24th, 25th of each month. But you'll definitely have them by the end of the month, depending on the situation with the post, especially with it coming up to Christmas at the moment. So yeah, if you go and subscribe onto my website, I will email you out the code, and the code for subscribers, VIP code, 10% off anything in the shop, and you can use it whenever you're in there purchasing. It's a lifetime code as long as you're subscribing. So you take care of yourselves. I'll see you at the weekend if you're coming over to join me. Otherwise, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.